Good evening, this is News Update on E. I am Sefa, Danquah. Now we begin with the COP26 Conference currently underway in Glasgow, where attention has turned to state treasuries and the businesses and financiers responsible for carrying out the pledges to cut emissions and build infrastructure. The main aim of COP26 talks is to secure enough national promises to cut greenhouse emissions, mostly from burning ubiquitous fossil fuels, to avert the worst climate disasters by keeping the rise in the global temperature to 1.5 degrees Celsius. But how exactly to meet those pledges, particularly in the developing world, is still being worked out. Among the most vexing questions are who pay and how the funds can be channeled through the financial systems quickly and effectively. President Danquah on Tuesday described as unfair calls for Africa to halt the exploitation of its natural resources as a way of contributing to fighting climate change. Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has announced that government plans to issue every newborn child a national identification number from 2022. This is part of plans to get a database of all citizens under the digitalization agenda. Dr. Bawumia said a link will be created between the Births and Deaths Registry, the Ghana Health Service, the Ghana Statistical Service, the Immigration Service, the Police and National Identification Authority to ensure the synchronization of information among the state agencies. He was speaking at a forum at the Ashesi University on the theme Transforming an Economy Through Digitalization, the Ghana Story. The Sudanese Prime Minister ousted in an army coup last week wants detainees released and governing bodies restored before he will enter into any dialogue, his office said on Wednesday, denying a report that he had agreed to lead a new government. Abdullah Hamdok has been under house arrest since his government was toppled on October 25th by military chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan in a coup which derailed a transition towards civilian rule and led Western donors to freeze aid. Burhan has said he wants to form a new government of technocrats and that Hamdok could return to lead it. Mediation efforts have been underway for several days in search of a negotiated way out of the crisis. A source close to Hamdok told reporters mediation talks are ongoing, but no deal has been reached. Now to Nigeria, where rescuers in Nigeria are racing to find survivors 2 days after a high-rise building under construction collapsed and trapped scores of people in the commercial capital, Lagos, as the death toll rose to 22. Anxious family members and large crowds have gathered near the site of the incident, hoping to hear news of the fate of those still trapped on the chunks of masonry and mangled steel where the building once stood. National Emergency Management Agency Coordinator for Lagos, Ibrahim Farinloye, announced the death toll had climbed to 22 after several bodies were recovered overnight. 9 people were pulled out alive. Building collapses are frequent in Africa's most populous country, where regulations are poorly enforced and construction materials often substandard. The Lagos state government said there had been some building infractions during construction earlier this year, but did not say whether these had been rectified. Shoppers in Beijing shops are stocking up on food including cabbage, rice and flour for the winter. This comes after the government urged people to keep stores of basic goods in case of emergencies, though it assured them there were sufficient supplies after some panic buying. China's Ministry of Commerce published a seasonal notice on Monday encouraging authorities to do a good job in ensuring food supplies and stable prices ahead of winter, following a recent spike in the prices of vegetables and a growing outbreak of COVID-19. But the ministry's advised to households to also stock up on daily necessities in case of emergencies prompted significant confusion, sending some ration to supermarkets to purchase extra supplies of cooking oil and rice. And its instructions also pushed up domestic edible oil features as well as Malaysian palm oil. A long line formed at supermarkets' cabbage stall as people bought supplies of vegetable that is traditionally stored at home and consumed over the winter months. But many residents said there was no need to purchase more food than normal. And that's it for the news update on E. I am Sefa, Danquah. Many thanks for watching.